This week, coming to you from the Brown Hotel. I'm Max Maxwell, and this is Cake Take, baby. My take on cake. Here we are again. Cake Take, number 51. My name is Max Maxwell. I'm a drummer for a band in Louisville, Kentucky called The Crashers. And we play tons of weddings every single year. We love it so much. And I absolutely love wedding cake. So this is a channel to help people find bakers, or wedding planners, or venues, or other things that they'd want to in the Louisville area and surrounding and all over the place. And then I do some things from other cities when I'm traveling. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It's been a lot of weddings. It's been awesome. It's so amazing to get things back cranking again, because last year was a drag hanging out. So this year is fantastic. And this week was also fantastic. We played a wedding at a place that I haven't covered yet, I don't believe, on Cake Take. A place that I really love a lot. It's an incredibly elegant space. Old, elegant space. It's the Brown Hotel, and their grand ballroom they have upstairs. And it's elegant. It's as elegant as you can get around, in Louisville, as far as I'm concerned. I think it's one of the most elegant, charming, beautiful spaces. It's a fantastic hotel. It's right on Broadway downtown. Easy to get to, right on 4th Street, right down the street from the Palace and the Mercury Ballroom, all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for a place to stay in town, Brown's a great place to stay. So this wedding, again, at the Brown, was with Madeline and Bill. Madeline and Bill. A beautiful young couple. At first I thought that it would look like it was an older crowd, but what I didn't realize is it was a huge bridal party. And their friends, and they were kind of all tucked in the back, farther back, and the old folks were the ones getting up on the dance floor immediately. But once they tired out, after we finished through the the Motown songs and all that stuff, once they tired down, the youngsters came up out of the crowd, and they were so much fun, crazy, and they seemed to have a great time. So it was a wonderful wedding, and Madeline and Bill were a gorgeous little couple. Wedding planner was COURTNEY Samuels from COURTNEY Samuel Events. COURTNEY was a joy to work with on this project. There's always these little last minute changes and things that happen, and you can always tell how great a wedding planner is on how they handle that stuff, and if they can just kind of handle it and then laugh it off instead of getting freaked out like I do sometimes. I get freaked out sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? We're going to do this? It's changed? But COURTNEY wasn't like that. She handled it perfectly. Now, as well, the Brown handled all of the food for this event, and their staff is always top-notch and wonderful. And in fact, they hung out and watched some of the band from the sides because all the food was coming from behind us. But the food was fantastic. They always take care of us with hot meals and all the soft drinks and water we want, and that's always fantastic. Let's get to the cake. Almost the most important part. So the cake, by one of my very favorites. In fact, it's my favorite buttercream that I ever have. It's cakes. It's Merts cakes by Virginia. And they had a whole bunch of different layers. The cake was gorgeous. Merts and Virginia always make a beautiful cake. But I heard a story about Virginia. We played a wedding a few weeks ago that I covered, that she did a wedding cake, and she did one of those, I don't know what it is, praline cake things. Bourbon love cake, whatever that thing is. But I heard the story about that wedding particularly, that Virginia wasn't the baker on that job. A girl that worked for her at some point, or worked for her at some point, started making her own cakes, and she was to do it, but she came down with COVID and was unable to make the cakes a few days out. Virginia stepped up, and Mert stepped up and took care of them and made this wedding go off perfectly. So I love stories like that. I mean, that's what I love about all these bakers and how they really care about each other. It's not a competition. And that's the other thing about this cake day thing. It's not necessarily a competition. I'm just making you aware of things. So, I piled up all this cake. I stole another plate. I stole a plate, man. I hate doing that, but this is so good. I ate some at the wedding already, so this is my extras. So there's a bunch of different flavors here. I think there's maybe three flavors. I can't remember for sure. But I piled it all up on here. You saw the picture of the cake, so it was beautiful. But there's some beautiful looking cake. The thing about this buttercream that I like better than anybody else's is that it seems like they brown the butter when they make this. And if you've had butter that's brown like that, it's almost caramelized. And that's the flavor that I like about her buttercream. Her cakes are always moist and delicious. And they look good. Look at that. So, this one was almost like, it had pecans and some, almost like, it's like pecan pie filling on the inside of this chocolate cake. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna hit some of this other chocolate cake. This buttercream is so buttery and so delicious. Mmm. Mmm. Yeah, you can taste that butter in there. You really can taste the butter in that. All right, there's a white cake here too. I'm gonna take a little bite of it. Again, I had all these at the wedding because my guys kept bringing them up to me and I was eating them while we're playing. Another skill that I have. Eat while I play the drums. It's a pretty good one. All right, this is, looks like a yellow cake. Virginia and Merts never, ever, ever let me down. Beautiful tasting cake. And she's so sweet. They're so nice. Go get you a cake from Virginia. This holiday season, you should get a cake. I believe that I will. All right. So what we know, Merts makes a great cake. The Brown Hotel, fantastic place to have your reception. Really elegant, really beautiful. And Courtney Samuels, thank you so much for helping us get through this, making it smooth and easy, helping the bride and groom, Madeline and Bill, and thank you so much for having us at your wedding. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now, please. Doesn't cost you a thing. And you get to see me every single week doing one of these things, showing you all kinds of beautiful cakes. Look at that. I can't eat all the rest of this. It's too much. I love you guys, and I thank you so much for watching.